I think at some point we do need to talk about God. God to me is love. Love is the highest form of energy next to authenticity. When we deal with the ancestors, as I am a medium, those ancestors who come back when they have problems, all they seek is love. Yes, when they come and they cause problems in your life, they are angry, there is a lot of havoc in your life. But once they are sorted out and they are cleansed off, they become so happy, they become so elevated because all they need is love. That is what they always say. That is how they always come across. Because they come back with the hope that we are going to cleanse them off and send them back to love, back to God. So one doesn't need to be religious to know what God is. God is the source. God is the beginning. God is the light. And you can call God whatever it is that you want to call God. But as long as you know that God is love and you know what God needs and you respect everybody, because there is a God particle in each and every one of us. Everything that we do, it needs to have love inside, and it also needs to have a lot of respect. We also don't need to judge others, because when we judge others, we are judging ourselves. When we say that God is love, we mean that as there is a particle of God in each and every one of us, it means there is that same love in each and every one of us, that same love that is in God himself or herself, whatever you want to say. And when I say that I don't need to be religious to know God, I mean exactly that. Because for me, I was born in a Christian family, but by the age of 16, I felt like, to me, I didn't see a reason why I should go to church because it didn't do anything for me. But I went there just for the activities of the youth organization because it was fun. I was young. But at the age of 21, I made my decision because I didn't find God. I didn't find anything. I actually found the opposite. So I left. And years later, I became a medium. When I became a spiritual medium, the ancestral powers that came through to me, they spoke of God. They spoke of the light, the fact that they are going in search of the light, they are going in search of God. And I've always known that I felt happier, I felt better when I left the religion. I felt better when I wasn't conforming. So I knew that God was with me. But when those ancestral powers came and reflected to me that they are actually in search of God, and we need to cleanse them off and help them so that they can go back to God. I knew that God is in the universe. God is everywhere. You can find God anywhere and everywhere. You don't have to. If you want to, you can. I'm not saying people mustn't go to church because we are not the same. Others will find God there. Others will not. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as we don't judge one another. But once you find God, you need to understand that God is love, and you need to show that love. Love for everything, love for one another, love for the universe. And the love of God is amazing. God is the source, is the light, is the beginning. Just because I am a spiritual medium, it doesn't mean that I don't know God. It doesn't mean that I am special. No, we are all the same. Anybody can do what I do. Anybody can be anything they ever want to be, as long as you believe that there's a particle of God inside of you. And that is magic. I always say that is magic right there. Once you acknowledge that, once you know that you need to humble yourself by all means, you need to love people, you need to love all the creatures, whether it's animals, it's the nature, it's the plants, or whatever. Everything has a life inside of it. That is the love of God. So being a spiritual medium doesn't mean that you don't know God. It also doesn't mean that because I claim that I know God, then I have to go to church. No, that is not the case. It's important as people to respect one another, because we can never be the same. We are different in so many ways, and yet we are the same because we all have a little particle of God inside of us. When you respect another person, you are respecting God Himself. That is what we need to know. And when you judge another, you are judging yourself, you are judging God. So who are you? Who are you? The subject of God, I hope it is clear. I hope it is clear, because if you don't really know God, then you don't have the love inside of you. You don't have respect. You will go around judging people. Anything that you do, make sure that you do it with compassion.